So Rahu in the fifth house. What happens when this mystical planet comes into the fifth house of creativity? Let's find out. So what is fifth house in your horoscope? Fifth house, first of all, mainly it represents children and the creation of children. It represents your formal academic education, because in the ancient times it also represented learning the ancient text. Like, let's say, somebody who memorizes or recites the Bible, the Quran, the Bhagavad Gita, all religious texts, and interest in religious texts. And this also represents astrology, because astrology is the part of the Vedas, Jyotish. And so it's considered, religious text. So, fifth house is also strongly seen in terms of if somebody's a good astrologer or not. It represents theatrical performance. It represents artistry. It represents creative thinking, not imagination, but just creativity, creative thinking process. Okay, it represents intelligence of a person, and it represents political discussions as well. Not actual job of politics, but the discussions and the knowledge of politics is seen. Rahu. Rahu is a shadow planet, the north node of the moon, that wants to attain the highest level of attainment it can get in whatever house it's situated in. It wants to take the shortcut to attaining that desire. It is unusual. It fills you with illusion that whatever it's trying to make you achieve is the best thing in the world. Okay, but after you achieved it, you realize it's not the most important thing. And that's the biggest lesson of spirituality, that you should not give up on material gains. In order to reach enlightenment and spirituality, you first must attain the material world. We'll discuss this later. So let's just find out what happens when these two energies join together. So as you know, celebrities are seen from the fifth house. And so Rahu there wants to achieve that social status in the celebrity realm. But more so, it wants to achieve a celebrity status in the political realm. Like, they want to be known as the politician who always is doing interviews, who always has the posse of photographers and writers with him, and who wants to be known as a nice, good politician. And, they are very media savvy. They always, whenever they're giving their inauguration speech or anything, they want to make it, delightful, and want to make it funny, so all the media can give them the attention. And so this is what happens when Rahu, is in the fifth house. Rahu wants to, achieve desired creativity through children. Like, they're very big on children. When Rahu comes into the fifth house, either this person wants to have a lot of children, or if they cannot have their own children, they want to raise somebody else's children, meaning they want to adopt. So usually positioned with Rahu in the fifth house, people adopt. Because let's say if Rahu is in the Saturn's Rashi, if there's no positive aspect, it can deny children, with Rahu being in the Saturn's zodiac sign, like Capricorn and Aquarius. But when this happens, Rahu wants to adopt children. And even if the Rahu is in the other zodiac signs, Rahu is amplification of things. Like, they want it, and they want it a lot, they wanted everything now. So these people may have 2 children of their own and 3 adopted children. Okay. It usually represents romance. Creativity and romance are same thing. So fifth house also represents romance with the opposite sex, or same sex nowadays. So Rahu, these people may actually have uncountable romantic encounters. They become popular among the opposite sex because Rahu wants to experience the foreign things, and it wants the exotic experience to the max. So usually these people can date all sorts of culture and religion. Like, if this person is a Hindu, they might date a Christian, a Muslim, a Hispanic, an African American, an Asian. They love varieties. and they want it to the max. So this person can be in like 30 relationships before they settle down. And that's because of the fact they get this natural attraction from the opposite sex. Because it makes them unusual. It makes their romantic experience unusual. They give a very unusual experience to the other person. And that's how the other person is more attracted to them. They make very good actors. Because Rahu wants to take the leap to the other level. And especially in their dasha, they may struggle a lot in that dasha, but pretty much in the second half of the dasha or in middle or early on in the dasha, they will suddenly gain the other higher society leap. And so this is why politician who is mingling in the crowd is mingling because he wants to be on top of the game. He wants to sit with the top politicians in DC. He wants to have that political connection. So if he wants to pass a loophole or something, when he's a politician, he has all the help. And so Rahu in this house makes a person inclined towards, gaining success in a political realm, perhaps through their creativity, perhaps through them being a top actor. Good example, Angelina Jolie. She has Rahu in the 5th house in Scorpio. And since we're talking about kids, there's one more thing that you guys might want to know, is that with Rahu, who wants to break taboos, wants to break rules or regulations of society and culture, in 5th house can also denote to a fact that this person may have children out of wedlock, meaning illegitimate children. And the reason why I say this is not only this, but a couple of weeks ago, somebody sent me a message through my website, an Indian guy. I'm not going to say what state he's living in, but he apparently is worried out of his mind because his girlfriend, who's white and Catholic, is pregnant. And he has been dating her for a year, but the family doesn't know of this, and the woman is not willing to, abort the child, and she wants to go all the way through with it, and he's from like a strict Punjabi family. So he's got some serious ass whooping coming for himself right now. I don't know what that's going to happen, but yeah. So, and clearly his Rahu was in the 5th house in the sign of Libra, I think, yeah, Libra. So yeah, you want to know that too, because anywhere Rahu is, he wants to break tradition. He wants to break out of, those rules made by society. And, that's why Rahu goes into the direction of taboo. But is it really taboo? Is it really a bad thing to have kids out of marriage? Not really, because if you really look at it, these are rules made by society. It's not like God handed out these rules that you must have a child, after marriage. Imagine the Neanderthals having children only after marriage. Okay, so just want to know the reality of it is that really doesn't matter, But since you do live in a society with rules and regulation, Rahu just wants to break out of it. Rahu is like a true scientist, I would say. He's really not that bad. He really just wants to question it and break out of his shell. Because in order to reap the fruit, you must break the shell. When it comes to education, this person might actually become obsessed with attaining the highest level of degree. Even though it might be a struggle for them, even though, there may not be initial interest early in life, but, Rahu is this obsessive energy that wants to be on top of the game of the house that is representing that game. So since 5th house represents education as well, they want to be there with the highest level of academic students. Like they want to be in Harvard. They want to be amongst those honor students. They want to get that PhD. So they become obsessive. Now, unless Venus is with them, then what happens is the creativity is more amplified than the academic education. Or if let's say Saturn is with Rahu, then it's definitely, may block the academic education for a long period of time, and then it releases that off of that. But it's just that obsessive energy that people have with Rahu. So whatever house is placed in, it wants to attain success in that house. Now remember, fifth house is also speculative business, meaning like betting, stock market, gambling in Vegas, winning a lottery is seen from fifth and eighth house. But Rahu aspects, remember, Rahu always aspects the fifth, seventh, and ninth place from itself. So when Rahu is in the fifth house, is aspecting the 11th house, directly opposite of gains, of network circles. So these people may have a huge network circle, but only in political realm, like for political gains. Like they may have friendship with somebody who may actually get them into the White House, doing something. May actually get them into UN, being a representative or ambassador of their country or their state, or whatever they can attain through political gain, but more so of a speculative gain, meaning entertainment. Entertainment is speculative. I mean, you produce a movie, you don't know if it's going to win or lose. But Rahu is that planet that wants to take that chance, and wants to take that chance in such a way that it doesn't want to lose. And so sometimes most of the time, these people don't lose in the speculative business. They make very good stockbrokers. Because stockbroking is about, betting on something and gaining from it. And Rahu is an expert in that. So some of the very wealthy stockbrokers are seen from this placement of Rahu in the fifth house. And since Rahu aspects the ninth house of laws, of religious things, and being under the umbrella of God, because it's signified by Jupiter, Rahu may want to break that. And remember, a lot of Wall Street people are quite criminal in what they do, and yet some get caught, some do not get caught. But Rahu is about breaking taboo, so they want to bet on something. But since it's looking at the ninth house, it wants to break the law, break the rules in attaining that. Politicians, do I have to explain this? How many laws they break in order to become who they are? Oh, what kind of things they do in order to attain that position when they're there. This is why it really I would say, I don't know, you can say good position for a politician to be there, because they want to take this short and small route and go around the law to get what they want in life. And so Rahu also looks at the ascendant, the first house, from its ninth aspect, meaning the personality. So your personality might become like a Rahu, like a smoke-filled personality. You might say something, but you really mean something else. You might say something to somebody to attain something, but once you have it, that's when they'll see your true nature. Politician, do I need to say anything more? Celebrities, they may be something else from the outside, the camera, but behind the scenes, man, their life is like upside down. They might be a completely different person. So guys, this was my analysis on Rahu in the fifth house. If you're new to my channel, subscribe above, because I upload up videos every day, so check them out every day. And if you want to know more about astrology and its myths and misconceptions, check out the link below. Check out my articles there, my book, Astrology at the Speed of Light. Otherwise, I'm going to see you tomorrow with another cool video. Bye-bye.